What's going on, everybody? It's Chris with Committed 3D Tech. As most of you know, it is finally tax season, which is dreaded for a lot of us. But I've been getting the question over and over again, how do I do my taxes when it comes to cryptocurrency? And it's really important because the IRS is really cracking down on cryptocurrency and how we actually report it on our tax returns. John McAfee is a good example of someone who did not report their cryptocurrency very well. And since he is a very wealthy man, he was primed to be audited. And he did. He's in prison now. So none of us want to end up like John McAfee. But in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about my tips and tricks that I've learned over the years of doing cryptocurrency taxes. We're going to talk about a specific platform called Taxbit. If any of you have seen them in the news, it's because recently PayPal invested in them. So with that, we're going to talk about the pros, we're going to talk about the cons, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know how we always do it. Like I said, also, I'm going to give you a couple of my tips when it comes to doing taxes with cryptocurrency. And speaking of balance sheets, a lot of you have heard recently Tesla added $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin to their balance sheet. Yes, and with that, Crypto.com is offering a giveaway to win one of 4 Teslas. So all you have to do is download the Crypto.com app and trade at least $100 worth of Bitcoin, and then you will automatically be entered in for that giveaway. Now, if you are staking CRO tokens, you will actually get more entries in that, depending on how much you've actually staked. And on top of that, if you try out the Ruby Red MCO Visa, you and I both get $25 in CRO tokens absolutely free. So a link for that will be down in the description. If you do win, seriously let me know. I will fly out to you and we'll make an awesome video and feature you in it. Because who doesn't love bragging about winning a Tesla? That would be awesome. So other than that, make sure you smash the like button until it turns blue, and let's get to the video. The number one tip that I have when it comes to doing your taxes in cryptocurrency is to plan ahead. It's really important to know what forms you need, which companies are actually going to send you a 1099, which companies won't, and you're also going to want to know how many transactions you have. Software like Taxbit actually solves a lot of that, but cryptocurrency is constantly changing. Actually, when I was talking to one of the customer service reps from Taxbit, he made a joke that you just have to wait a week for the policies on cryptocurrency to change. And I think that's really important. So for the 2020 and 2021 tax season, Coinbase is no longer sending you a 1099K. And even companies like Crypto.com, they have certain criteria for you to get a 1099K. I have around 250 crypto transactions, but I still didn't meet the tier to actually get a 1099K. So what that means for users is if you don't get a 1099K, you're really left on your own to figure out what transactions you actually made. Platforms like Coinbase and Crypto.com do make it pretty easy to download a CSV of all of your transactions, which is really important when it comes to this software. But the bottom line is the more you plan ahead, the better equipped you'll be to make sure you don't get audited by the IRS. The first thing you're doing is watching this video, which is a step in the right direction. Tip number 2 is deciding which software you're going to use for filing your taxes. If you're going to use a software, you might want to go and just use an accountant. At this point in my life, I'm on the fence right now where this is really the last year that I'm probably going to be filing taxes on my own. The two that I've used over the years are Credit Karma and TurboTax. Now, a few years ago, I strayed away from TurboTax because I had literally gone through everything, and at the end of it, because I had self-employed income, they wanted to charge me an extra like $100. I just wasn't about that at the time. I was all about saving money. So I ended up actually switching to Credit Karma's tax service, so I got to file for absolutely free. Now, the problem with some of these softwares is it gets confusing on where you actually file your cryptocurrency taxes. Taxbit makes it super easy. We'll talk about that in a few moments. So when it comes to Credit Karma, it's a little ambiguous on where you actually put it. There is a section where you can put your capital gains. That's what I did last year, and it actually did populate the 8949 form. TurboTax, in the end, if you have self-employed income, might try to charge you a little bit more, but in my mind, it's absolutely worth it because they have built it into the program to be able to import a lot of different CSVs, including the files that Taxbit pushes out for your 8949 and cryptocurrency transactions. Now, I need to clarify, I am not a tax professional. I am not giving financial advice. Really, I'm just sharing my story and what I do when it comes to taxes. Always seek a tax professional when it comes to doing your taxes because it's better safe than sorry. Tip number 3 is to smash the like button. Okay, actual tip number 3 is something that's taken me a long time to learn, but this past year, I have had a ton of different platforms that I've incorporated into this YouTube channel. With that as well, I have tons of cryptocurrency transactions because that's what we do on this channel. We review crypto and tech and investing platforms. So my tip here is consolidate platforms. Try to use only 1 or 2 at most. Limit the amount of transactions you have. The importance of HODL'ing, not only does it lower the amount of capital gains you'll pay short-term versus long-term, but it also makes it so that you don't have to rustle through all of the transactions and figure out which ones are taxable. But worst case scenario, use some of these new crypto tax softwares, especially Taxbit. Let's talk about the pros and the cons of using Taxbit. Number 1, it's backed by the literal best in the business. So not only are they backed by PayPal, which is a recent investor, but they're also backed by Winklevoss Capital and Coinbase. Not only that, but they make it so simple to do your taxes. Whatever platform you are, typically they'll have a way for you to either link up with it or simply just download the CSV and import it directly into the software. And from there, it actually calculates everything for you, which events are taxable and which ones are not, how much of your capital gains are taxable, and what you will actually owe from those capital gains. On top of that, the thing that I really, really love, they have different forms that you can export, including the file export that you need to import your 8949 form onto TurboTax Online. It actually became a no-brainer for me. I'm using TurboTax this year, and I'm using Taxbit for my cryptocurrency 8949. For those of you who don't know, 8949 is the actual form that you need to fill out to report your taxes. Typically, softwares won't tell you you're filling out an 8949. They'll basically just have you report your capital gains, and then they will actually populate the 8949 for you. The other things that I really love about this platform is their support team is super knowledgeable. I was actually going to reach out and talk to a CPA, but the support rep was able to answer my questions without me even needing to talk to an actual accountant, which I thought was phenomenal and speaks volumes about the actual company. But the thing that I love the absolute most about Taxbit is they are the only company that gives you access to a CPA with the highest tier plan. Now, this is really, really important because let's say you file your taxes, you think you're all good, but the IRS audits you. If that happens, then you automatically have access to one of Taxbit's CPAs who are super knowledgeable about cryptocurrency, and they can help you through the audit on the cryptocurrency part. Now, of course, there are a couple of cons. The first one is they don't have a mobile platform yet, which I imagine that they're going to develop that and build it out, because one of the purposes of this is if you have multiple platforms, you're able to consolidate and look at your whole portfolio in one spot, which I really, really love that, especially coming from someone who has like 200 different crypto platforms in my portfolio. The other con is that you haven't smashed the like button yet for the YouTube algorithm. So smash it until it turns blue to help push this video to a further audience. The other con is that there's no free tier. The bottom tier starts at 250 transactions for $50. Moving up to the $175 plan, that gives you a little bit more. You can actually get your tax forms for all years, not just the year that you're filing for right then. It also gives you access to some of these other things, including the DeFi beta, which I think is actually going to be something really, really important in the coming years as DeFi becomes a lot more prominent for most crypto users. And then, of course, when you get up to the top tier, this is going to be the best plan. Obviously, for people who have many transactions, very active crypto traders, you can have up to 25,000 crypto transactions imported for the tax year. And the best part is you get access to the CPA, which, if you think about it, if you get audited, $500 is actually way better than any other situation you could be in. Now, full disclosure with this, when I heard that PayPal actually invested in Taxbit, I personally reached out to them and told them I wanted to make a video on this. They were kind enough to give me access to the most premium tier, including a CPA and everything. If you do want to sign up for Taxbit through my link, I do get a small commission at no cost to you. Actually, you'll get 10% off any of the tiers that you choose. So the bottom line, is Taxbit worth it? If you only have a couple crypto transactions, if you only bought once and held it, I think it's pretty safe to say that you can figure it out on your own. If you have a dozen or more crypto transactions, this software definitely becomes a game changer. It makes things a lot easier, and I find a lot of value in it personally. So with all that out of the way, if you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Just tap it until it turns blue. And that way, it'll push this video forward towards a larger audience so that more people can learn about Taxbit and feel at ease when it comes to doing their taxes this year. On top of that, I do have some really awesome content coming out. Everything from reviewing new crypto miners to technical analysis. I am even contemplating coming out with a video of me saying Bitcoin 50,000 times. That will take roughly 8 hours or so. So make sure you turn the notification bell on. That way you get notified anytime I come out with awesome content like that or crazy videos like me saying Bitcoin 50,000 times. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you check out the 10,000 subscriber giveaway that I'm doing on this channel. I'll tag a link for the video down in the description. You can win everything from $500 in crypto to a pair of Beats Solo Pro headphones or some Committed 3D Tech swag. Everything from mugs to t-shirts, sweaters, bull socks, you name it, we've got it. And with all of that out of the way, thank you so much for stopping by. My name's Chris with Committed 3D Tech, and we'll catch you next time.